Okay, I gave both fighters their instructions in the dressing room. I'm just cautioning you now. Obey my command at all times. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
As Ray said, Tommy Hearns usually likes to establish dominance early in the fight. I expect for that reason that Marvin Hagler will look to come on and counterpunch, at least in this first and perhaps through the first several rounds, looking for an opening if Hearns opens himself up.
The early rounds could really dictate how this fight will go.
The first round is a key round.
We're underway. And the pace is up-tempo right at the opening bell.
Hagler being the aggressor.
Hearns working that jab. He has a very quick jab. There's no denying it. And he caught Hagler with two good jabs and a right hand that might have hurt Hagler. Tremendous pace in the first round.
I expected this, Barry. Both guys are going at it.
Hearns getting the better of it right now. No nonsense at all here. And a left hand by Hagler. What a pace.
You know, both the guys just winging shots, so whoever gets caught in the chin may go down.
Left hand by Hagler that stood Hearns straight up. And a right hand. Both men have felt the wrath of the other.
Tommy is hurt. His legs a little shaky, unsteady.
And a left hand by Hearns. Threw that off his back foot, though. There's the short right.
Hagler now just uses defense. He's walking towards Hearns. He's doing the right thing now. Hearns is on his bicycle. Hagler now is going to his body.
Remember, Roldan caught Marvin Hagler early on also. There's another good straight right hand by Hagler, and another.
Now Hearns is using his movement. He's trying to throw Hagler off balance.
Hearns coming with a right hand lead that time.
Both fighters are really off balance.
Hagler leading with the right hand, but he's kind of lunging with it. There's another right hand, backs Hearns into the ropes.
Watch for Hagler's hook.
Now that was the right hand of Tommy Hearns, and it did catch Hagler, but he didn't take a backward step there. Another good right hand by Hearns.
Hagler's working the body now, trying to slow Tommy down. These guys are exerting a great deal of energy, Barry.
Tremendous pace in the first round. Blood coming from the face of Marvin Hagler. Can't tell yet where it's coming from. We'll see.
Both guys will definitely be winded in the next round.
It is over the right eye, I believe, of Marvin Hagler. We'll wait till we get him. And there's a lot of blood early on here. An awful lot of blood on the face of Marvin Hagler. It is at a place where it could do serious damage. We'll know between rounds when we get into the corner. Hagler punishing Hearns now. But it is Hagler who is bleeding. This is still the first round.
The second round, these guys will definitely pace themselves. There has been no boxing at all, just fighting here.
Just slugging. Blood on the face of Marvin Hagler. Again, we can't quite tell where it's coming from while Hagler continues to dish out punishment. And now Hearns bounces right back. This may be the most brutal, even round you've ever seen in boxing.
That's as good as it ever gets, folks. I doubt that there's ever been a better middleweight round than that one. The question is now the cut over Marvin Hagler's eye. It looks to be higher on his brow.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
The question also remains, who spent the most energy?
In my judgment, Ray, the surprise of that round was the fact that Marvin hit Hearns some excellent shots and didn't shake him. There's always been a question since your fight with Hearns whether he could take these kinds of punches. Marvin has decided to try to assert his strength as a natural middleweight over Hearns, and at least in that round, he didn't.
And now Tommy Hearns has a target.
Hold it.
And the key man in this fight can now be the corner. Hagler comes out with a quick right hand. It is not a pace that can go on for 12 rounds. There's no question about that. Regardless of how well conditioned these two are.
Watch your foot.
You know, the first round, these guys did not use their boxing skills. They just went in there and just unleashed all kinds of punches. They were off balance. This time, Hearns, second round, Hearns is pretty much using his skill. He's boxing.
I believe, as Larry Merchant said, that both men have taken the best shot of the other. That was on the top of the head.
That's the punch I'm looking for to Hagler pretty much landing on Tommy. The hook. Because Tommy has a tendency to lean back. And Hagler comes with that looping right hook.
There was a swelling under the eye of Marvin Hagler as well, and also a little bit of blood under as well as over it. There was a left hand by Hagler, backs Hearns up.
Again, Tommy is more so the one-punch knockout, whereas Marvin is an accumulation of punches.
There's another straight right hand. That one also hurt Thomas Hearns. Hearns backs up, gets his breath, and comes right back. Hagler has been effective with the right-hand lead.
I like Marvin's tactic so far. He's walking his man down, keeping those hands high.
Thomas Hearns fighting a very effective fight so far. He has Marvin Hagler cut. Cut is really more above the nose than it is over the eye, although it can cause him problems. There's no question about that. There's also a little blood in the bottom.
What Hagler wants to do, he wants to get Tommy against the ropes. I don't like when Tommy's moving. He's really off balance. He's not moving with good balance.
All right, Greg, step back, step back.
1 minute remaining here in the second round. Hearns leading with the right hand. Both men leading with the right
Tom
hand.
just put both feet together. Very dangerous. Look at him. He's off balance.
He's awkward. He definitely is awkward.
This is when Hagler needs to throw that hook. Tommy's just standing right in front of Marvin.
Hearns said he had to keep that foot outside of Hagler to be effective with the jab.
That was the hook.
Good left hook, and Hearns left his feet. Hearns is hurt.
That was the hook again, Barry.
Hearns is definitely hurt.
He is definitely hurt. And now this is when Marvin should take control.
Hearns was holding Marvin Hagler's right hand there. Now he tries to fight back. Takes the right hand. Takes the left hand. Hearns against the ropes. He's on rubber legs. Another good right hand by Hagler.
Now this is when Hagler really goes to work. Tommy shouldn't be here against the ropes.
Trying to weather the storm here in round 2. Big round for Marvin Hagler.
Hagler is really on with it. Watch Tommy legs as he walks back to his corner, whether he's steady. A little rubbery leg.
Once again, Marvin Hagler hit Hearns some of his best shots, but there the accumulation of shots seemed to have some impact as that round wore on.
Try to work on letting him miss with the left and going over here and then coming back with the right.
You got to cut a band.
Cut up. Let's box him. Stay away and box him. Let's box him. Let's get your second win and relax like nothing had to do with Colin Jones. And let's think carefully. Let's box it. When you get through with your shot, move off to one side or the other. You're getting hit on tail end punches. You understand?
Don't worry about the cut, man.
You had him going, man.
Don't worry about the cut. Just gotta keep pumping like that, man. Gotta keep pumping, understand?
Okay, go ahead. Hit him up.
Right?
All right, let's go ahead.
Well, there's no question the two most prevalent words on the lips of the 15,000 here at Caesar's Palace have got to be great fight so far. This entire crowd here, as a matter of fact, collectively is on its feet as we start the third round. Richard Steele says don't push.
What has happened, Marvin has turned this fight into a street fight. He's not really boxing, he's just pretty much using his own strength. You notice Marvin punches, they fell short. He's on with it from throwing all those punches in the second round.
Hagler getting the jab in early here in the third round. He hasn't used the jab much. He's gone with a right-hand lead. He's throwing punches off his back foot.
Tommy just held Hagler on his head, which meant that he really doesn't know where he is.
Tommy Hearns occasionally, at least to me, Ray, just looks to be awkward. He just seems to get his legs tied up.
Well, he really is awkward, and because of his height advantage.
And now we're going to get a moment for the doctor to come in as that cut just opened up.
It's not Marvin in your fight. No, it's not Marvin in his sight. Let him go.
A lot of blood on the face of Marvin Hagler, and let's see if he just doesn't try to do some serious business or just get through. That jab of Hearns is effective, even though he's throwing it off the back foot. A good right hand by Hagler drives Hearns
can't take too much of this. And again, it's a matter of accumulation of punches thrown by Hagler, which is probably where Tommy's down.
I'm sure Marvin feels that he has got to hurry things up here because that cut is not going to get any better. There's no question about it. Right hand sends Hearns. He doesn't know where he is. Hagler goes in for the kill now.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's down, and he may be out. I'm not sure he can make it.
5, 6, 7, 8,
9, and he's up. He's up at 9. He doesn't know where he is. It's over. This one is history. Marvin Hagler, a tremendous victory. And there will be no doubters in this one.
I said it. I felt something. It was a gut feeling, Barry, that it wouldn't go past 3 rounds. Or 5 rounds.
And the cuts seem to have no effect. I don't think there's any question, Ray, but that Hagler hurt Hearns in the second round.
Well, see, Hagler initiated authority right from the very first round. He stayed on top of Tommy. Tommy tried to exchange punch for punch. He couldn't do that. I stated earlier that Tommy should use his skill, box his man.
Tommy Hearns being carried back to his corner now by his handlers. And obviously a beaten fighter.
I also stated if Tommy Hearns should lose this fight in the fashion in which it happened, he will retire.
Well, it took him, we were talking about this before the fight, Ray. It took Tommy Hearns a year to recover from the beating that you gave him.
And this was worse because he was knocked out cold.
Marvin Hagler was simply dominant. Let's take another look at it, Ray. And I think this, as Larry Merchant mentioned, it was a cumulative effect.
And it wasn't really boxing that was at stake. It was just a matter of Hagler fighting the type of street fight. He stayed on top of Tommy. Tommy here is on Queer Street. Hagler, a good finisher.
You saw that right hand. I think you made a key point there, too. Hagler is a good finisher, and he really knows, although this was obvious, when his man is hurt.
Well, here, Tommy's eyes rolling around. He was definitely hurt. Here we have another shot. And the right hook, which was the key punch, and I made that point earlier, that would be the punch that would pretty much put Hearns out.
Well, another thing that we talked about, too, the first time that Thomas Hearns hit Marvin Hagler with the right hand, Hagler didn't step back.
But a couple of times, Marvin was shaken by Tommy's right hand. And after a while, I knew after accumulation of punches to the body, to the head, and Tommy would retreat, that it was more so in Hagler's favor.
Well, it's a tremendous victory. And Marvin Hagler, after he fought Roberto Duran here, really wanted the recognition as the great middleweight. And frankly, it wasn't a great fight. I don't see how anybody could not acknowledge the fact that Marvin Hagler was a marvelous, to coin a phrase, use his name, marvelous middleweight champion.
A very proud champion, a very dedicated champion, and he proved that. But again, this fight did not show boxing skill. It was just a matter of hard determination and a great deal of power.
But the fact is, we've seen Marvin Hagler when he does show good boxing skill.
Well, again, Barry, take a look, and that right hook put Hearns on Queer Street. Tommy here is hurt, doesn't know exactly where he is. His hands are dropped, and it's a couple punches that put him down.
And Thomas Hearns is looking for a place to fall down after that right hook. It landed above the eye, it looked like, on the side of the head. It was a tremendous punch, but again, it was just that one punch on top of all the other punches.
Well, both fighters claimed it was going to end in 3 rounds, and the prediction came true.
They were absolutely right. Right now, let's go up to the ring announcer. Chuck Hull will get the official decision.
Referee Richard Steele stops the bout at 2 minutes, 1 second of the 3rd round. The winner by a TKO and still undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
For 3 years, Hagler saw Hearns and his future as far back as 1982. They were scheduled to meet, but a Hearns hand injury intervened.
I'm not going in there look for injury. And when I go in there, I want to be in tip-top condition and great health.
Finally, the fight was canceled. Hagler was livid.
And he was going to make $2 million. He turned down $2 million. In the first beginning, Ray, he started complaining about his little baby Pinky. You know how many people will give $1 million for that little baby Pinky? They cut that thing off.
And come April 15th, in 3 rounds, I would be the greatest.
And Tommy said, I'm going to be laying down there and his hands are going to be raised. I feel almost the same way, but when the smoke clears, because I'm coming out smoking, as you know, but when the smoke clears, it'll be my hands that'll be raised.
We feel that the jab is going to be the key factor in the fight, the left hand, because we feel that if we can, once we can get Marvin to watch the left jab, get his mind on the left hand, then there will be no problem with getting other shots off.
Hearns' best defense is his offense, because that's the only way to how he knows how to fight. In my way, I have to make my defense my best offense. So, and though that I have both ways, because once I get him in trouble, I can change it around. Thomas don't have that ability.
I'm here to show the world that I have the ability to punch and power, to get in there and knock out middleweights, light heavyweights, whatever, welterweights, all the way up to the light heavyweight division. I have that power.
I have my mind focused on one thing, and that's to destroy him. That is to knock him out. If I have the opportunity, if it's there, I'm going to take it.
I think that this fight here will put me in the position to make greatness and put me one step closer to greatness, and which is to win the 4 titles.
That's what I feel. War. That's what's on my mind.
I don't see the fight going 12 rounds.
I've been feeding the faith, and I've been starving the doubt. So there's no doubt in my mind that I can't win this fight, or that I won't knock Thomas Hearns out.
Marvin, you took the action to Tommy right away. You went right for his body. He looked like he stunned you momentarily with the right in the first. Did that right hurt you?
It didn't bother me, just made me madder.
Okay.
I told you I was going to eat him up like Pac-Man. I figured once I get through the right hand, then it was all mine, you know, because I think the first big one, what you tried, try to put me away out there, and I think that's when I got the cut there, but I wanted to show the world I am the greatest now.
Well, you are the greatest middleweight. There's no doubt about that.
Did I say 3?
You went right for the body. Was that your plan immediately?
That was the way we planned. I want to thank all my sparring partners, especially I want to thank God for giving me the strength and the courage and the confidence to go in here and to know that I was the one. I was the champion, but I had to fight like a challenger.
That fight, I think, took tremendous courage on your part for this reason. You walked right in against the cannon. You were willing to take the right hand to knock him out.
You got it. I figured I had to take punches or to give some, but I told you he was going to get some too.
This was, in some ways, not like the Marvin Hagler we've often seen. Not the ring technician. You bombed.
That's it. That's what I felt. I felt as though in every one of my fights I've been fighting, I improved, and I put it all together in this fight.
The Petronelli's here. I guess you've got to be just thrilled with this. Probably your biggest moment.
The greatest. There's this guy. Does he? Now that we take care of the wise guys, the hurt man, the hit man. We love him.
I want to say to all the people out there who spent their money, I hope that you got your money's worth, because Tommy's a hell of a fighter, and I think I put all my all out here, but the better man won tonight.
You have talked about going after Monzone's record. Is it still on your mind? And I guess this just fuels you. Getting that record might put you in that class of the greatest middleweight.
Definitely. I'm still after Monzone's record, but I don't think that I'll have a big media hype as I did with this one, so I'm going to continue. Okay. This is one of my toughest fights.
Marvin, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's go down.
referee Richard Steele stops the bout at 2 minutes, 1 second of the 3rd round. The winner by a TKO and still undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.